Me truly, I would present this video clip to our community. What's your name, sir?
My name is Keith, and I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir. How do you think that the issues, uh, fraud election that happened before, do you think that any evidence can be presented to the courthouse, the high courthouse someday?
Yeah, I've been traveling all over the country with the Stop the Steal movement to stop the fraud in the election, and I feel that the point of the court cases is not necessarily to get the court to throw out the election. What I feel the point of the court cases is to give President Trump's attorneys and other attorneys to give them an opportunity to present the fraud in open court. And they're also presenting it in some states to the legislatures themselves. And what that's going to do is that's going to give the legislatures a chance to take back the power that they have to appoint the legislatures. The United States Constitution in Article 2 gives the legislators and the legislators only the power to present the electors. And so what several states have done is they have given that power to the governor, or they have given that power to the Secretary of State. But at any time, they can take that power back from the governor or the Secretary of State. So even right now, after the election, the legislators can take the power back. So they could do one of two things. One thing they could do is say there's fraud in the election, we don't know who won, so we're not going to send any legislators, or sorry, I said that improperly, any electors to the Electoral College coming up. The other thing they could do is there's already been one set of electors certified by the governor or the Secretary of State in some of these states, so the legislators could send a second slate of electors. So two slates of electors could show up for, let's say, the state of Georgia, which is where I am. And so then those electors would be received by, my understanding is by Vice President Pence, and then Vice President Pence would have a choice. He would either not accept either group of electors from the state of Georgia, for example, or he would decide, am I going to accept the ones that I feel were fraudulent and sent by the Secretary of State or the governor, which they don't have the authority to send the legislators, or is he going to accept the legislators that are sent, the electors sent by the legislature? And so he would have to make that decision. So in that scenario, the most likely thing that would happen is neither Joe Biden or President Trump, either one would have 270 electors, and then it would end up going to the House of Representatives. And if it went to the House of Representatives, then each state gets one and only one vote. And then the Republicans have more states that they control than Democrats. So then President Trump would end up winning. And we haven't seen that happen as Americans in the 2000s, and we haven't had that happen in America in the 1900s. But it happened several times back in the 1800s, where the House of Representatives actually picked the president based off of this scenario.
Isn't that a good idea?
It's the only idea. It's the only path. So it's a great idea.
Right, great idea to me too, because this evidence have been mentioned about on TV, on radio, in our community too. So I wish the lawyer, whose name is Sidney Powell, can present that to the higher court someday.
Yes. It's getting expedited to the Supreme Court. Just in Pennsylvania, Judge Alito, Supreme Court Justice Alito, he just expedited the case up to the Supreme Court, so it's going to be presented faster. So that just was announced today that it's going to go. The Pennsylvania case is going to go even faster to the Supreme Court. When you hear about some of the cases that were getting thrown out earlier, they had nothing to do with President Trump. Those cases were filed before the election, and those people didn't even really have jurisdiction, didn't have, sorry, I apologize, the wrong wording, didn't have standing in the case. That's why they were thrown out. And so the ones for President Trump, it's not that they're necessarily being thrown out, they're just being moved up to the higher courts, which is what we want. We want them decided in the Supreme Court. So when you hear the mainstream media, when you hear the fake news saying that President Trump keeps losing in the courts, that's just not accurate. It's just going on up the chain, which is what we want. Yes.
Yeah, I wish that can be happen.
Yes.
So that better, because do you think that issue can be presented to the higher court before on December 14th?
In Pennsylvania, that's my understanding is that it's going to be presented this coming Tuesday.
Oh,
So-
that's right.
And then I think other states are going to follow.
But on
Quickly.
the 14th of December, we had to present something to the Congress.
So the Electoral College is on that. The 14th is on Saturday.
Yes.
The Electoral College is on Monday. So currently that is the date of the Electoral College. And so some legal scholars feel that that date can be moved, so that it can be pushed back if there's an issue in the election. So I'm not an attorney. I'm not a constitutional scholar. I'm not saying that that's factual, but some people are discussing whether or not the date of the Electoral College can be moved, and I don't know if it can or not.
Do you think any progress can happen and help President Ronald Trump?
I mean, yeah, I think, I mean, people keep talking about, like, on the news, like, oh, there's evidence of fraud, but not a lot of fraud. Well, you don't have to have, it's not like you have to have a certain amount of fraud for it to be disqualified. If there's any fraud at all, then that state's votes can't be certified. They
That's
keep
true.
talking about, like Georgia, for example, Joe Biden is ahead by about 10,000 votes, just a round number. And so, like, they keep acting like, oh, well, if you don't find 10,000 votes worth of fraud, you know, then it doesn't matter. Well, if you find any fraud, Georgia is invalid.
It's
If
true.
you find any fraud in
It's true.
Pennsylvania or Arizona,
It's
then
true.
it's invalid. That's the point.
It's
You
true.
don't have to have a magic
It's true.
amount.
It's true.
If we had a business contract together and there's any fraud, then someone goes to jail. It's not a certain amount of fraud. If there's
True.
$1 of fraud, it's fraud.
True.
Yes.
True. It's true. So you think what percent you think President Donald Trump can be winner?
What percentage of chance?
Yeah.
I don't know a percentage of chance, but you know, I felt the calling to be here today. I felt a calling to go on this journey. I mean, I put my business, I put everything on hold. I mean, I just moved into a new house the week before the election, and I haven't even moved all my furniture. I've done nothing.
Wow.
I've barely slept in my own bed since the election. I've been traveling all over the country, not even know where my next stop was. I just packed up food. I put a egg crate mattress in the back of my SUV. I've been sleeping at truck stops for the last 3 weeks in the back of my car, going to support the president and to help save our constitutional republic. I believe communist China is coming to take over our country, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. So I don't have a percentage chance, but I know I'm going to do everything that I can do.
Yes, that's why I have same idea like you, because we are the Vietnamese refugee. We left Vietnam because of communism.
Yes.
So we against China. We support President Trump for that reason.
Communism robs your soul.
No.
It's a modern form of slavery.
Right, it's true. There's only one party.
Yes.
No anyone can control them. That's why you did whatever you done, you have been doing wrong.
When you end up with one party rule, one party government, you end up with socialism, then you end up with communism, and then the next step is you end up with a dictatorship. That's what one feeds to the other. So that's what you get when you have one party rule. And
Exactly.
we're not going to have that in this country.
That's why I don't want communists. They try to take over the power of this country. Our country present for human rights, for freedom, for the right business.
Yes,
Communists cannot do it.
exactly. This is a free country, and it'll always remain a free country.
Yes, our country is the best in the world. We need to support this country, support President Trump to have good country to be well known for the
Yes.
world.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you very
much,
much.
for
Nice.
letting me share with your group of people. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank God for you, how much you try to do before your personal issue, but for government, for President Trump, for the righteousness for this country. God bless you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. I was first lieutenant and trained in Oklahoma Fossil 1973. So I came back to Vietnam 74 and I came here again 1935.
Leaving?
Yeah, I never been back to Vietnam over 45 years.
Good. Don't go back.
No, communist. I against them. Never been back.
Yeah.
God bless you.
All right. Thank you so
I
much.
wish you can get my phone number, and someday I can help you what I can do.
Okay.
Okay, my phone number is
Yeah.